We are those with a gun, my friend, those who are trusted and true. We tackle the wall and the bottomless gorge to get the 12-pounder through.
HMS Excellent, one of the Royal Navy's training establishments, is at Whale Island, just outside the historic city of Portsmouth on the south coast. Housing a number of different schools that teach a variety of subjects, it's also home to the Portsmouth Command Field Gun Crew. Every year, the field gun crews of Portsmouth, Devonport and the Fleet Air Arm battle it out in a competition steeped in the history of blood and guts that has typified many a naval encounter. Now in its centenary year, the competition takes place annually at Earls Court in London during the 2-week-long Royal Tournament. Sadly, due to manpower shortages and the perception by the tournament organisers that it is outdated, 1999 is the final year of this tough, grueling and sometimes dangerous event reckoned by many to be the hardest sport in the world. The competition commemorates an heroic act during October 1899 when, at the height of the Boer War, the Royal Navy's determination and courage assisted in ending the siege of Ladysmith in South Africa by transporting guns to the army garrison across 90 miles of difficult terrain.
Portsmouth stand at A. Stand, Z.
I feel very fortunate to be your president for the third year. Welcome back to Whale Island. This is where field gunners have been training and run for most of this century. You come back to a great historical atmosphere. In my view, and I'm sure in all our view, the best of the lot. You've got a lot of A crew exes, a lot of B crew exes, and from what I've seen training so far, from what I've heard, a lot of really good quality first-timers. That makes me even more confident than ever that this is going to be Pompey's year. Very special year for field gunners. Anyway, welcome. It's good to see you here. I look forward to seeing something of you in the next few days. Welcome back to Pompey. Welcome back in Pompey's silver year. Thank you.
Formalities over. Ian Binks, this year's physical trainer, also known as Clubs, puts the crews to work on stamina training.
Third rank, stand by, go!
Clubs insists on 100% effort at all times.
Anybody who gets to fly out with the ability to react is to go and sprint. Stand by!
Field gunners come to Whale Island with a high degree of personal physical fitness.
Arms and legs when we go, arms and legs.
Ian Binks has the job of developing that fitness even further. With light-hearted games and demanding daily workouts that help to gel all the different personalities within the crew, slowly but surely, each man attains a higher level of physical fitness than ever before. This routine has been developed over many years and improved upon by each successive PTI. The aim being to create men who have the endless stamina that is required in order to get through the punishing weeks of track training that lie ahead.
Chief Pit Officer Pat Patilla, the first trainer for Portsmouth Field Gun in 1999, which is going to be our last year. I've waited 10 years to come back as a trainer. I was the first trainer in 1991, and it's I've been involved with Portsmouth Field Gun for 25 years. 6 as running and 7 as staff, and I've had 3 seasons as a battery chief working for the battery commander who coordinates the whole of Field Gun. Possibly the last year of Field Gun as we know it. What that means to me is disappointment. We've got 3 commands of Field Gun that have worked very hard over the years to produce what I call quality lads at sea. What does disappoint me is the fact that if the powers to be say that Field Gun's got to finish, I think the influx of lads that have come to Field Gun, going back to the fleet, is obviously going to diminish. The average lad that comes here out the fleet hasn't got a clue what he's joining. When he comes to me, we make him more disciplined, more dedicated, his leadership qualities improve. When he goes back to sea, he's a better sailor. You can walk around any ship in the Navy and see Field Gunners within 24 hours because of just their attitude and the way they are. Once that line's finished, that we don't have young sailors coming to Field Gun and going back to sea, I think we're going to have a very poor Navy for that. And I'm sure in 5 or 6 years' time, that's my own personal feelings, once we don't have the line of lads going back to Field Gun, ships at sea are going to be worse off for that. Because the average young matlow, when it comes to Field Gun, becomes totally a better sailor. We're governed by the laws of Field Gun to work for 9 weeks prior to Earls Court, and that date is the 17th of May. So that's not long enough these days. So to make sure we have safety first aspect of Field Gun, we're going to start looking at the safety part over the next couple of weeks, building up to the 17th of May when the rules of the competition state we can start. It's now weather dependent. As I've said, 9 weeks is not long enough, but the powers to be says we take sailors out of the Navy for 3 months, and that's too long. But with a 2.5-month season, or 3.5-month season, I beg your pardon, we have to train 80 men over thousands of different hand and footholds safely, and 9 weeks we can't do that, so that's why we're going out a couple of weeks early. Everybody's happy, everybody's chirpy, they look the part, they look the Field Gun Gladiator has been put on film before because of the support financially we've got. And I know now we're geared to success at Earls Court.
Here we are then, it's Wednesday 21st of April, the second day on the track. We were rained off yesterday unfortunately, but it's been a little bit better today. Very windy, but we've managed to get some work done. Number one's very happy, we've made a good start and things are going well at the moment. Number two's having a nice steady day. We've got a lot of people to train up, they're all being attentive and the feeling's very, very good. Let's hope it continues.
I'll be here watching you, all right, and I'll pull you off if your hands are going anywhere near that wall.
B Crew trainer, Warrant Officer Barry Homer, number 2, takes his boys through the difficult manoeuvre required to get the gun over the wall.
This side. Settle down. My drill, your left. Settle. Stand by. Drill.
Even with 7 men around it, this sequence demonstrates the care required to complete the move safely.
Drill. Good. All right, stay on your feet. 15 will take it off you. Keep hold of it until you hear got. All right? But you can hold it there all day, and you might have to, all right? Because he sometimes falls off the wall. You have to wait while he's in the sick bay.
Mistakes occasionally happen, and they hurt.
Fortunately, Vince, you're right. Yes. You get away with it. You do get a fucking knots and you do get your fucking hands. But try and fucking think about what we're trying to do with this. It is fucking difficult and hard work, but if we all do what we're meant to be fucking doing, it will go up the fucking ramp all the time, especially the monsters you've got on here now. So it's a case of concentrating exactly what your job is. If you do your job, the other 7 will do theirs. Okay, and it is a fucking hard bit of kit, but you've got to look after it, otherwise it fucking bites you. Right, concentrate, forget that now. Happened, it's in the history box. I'll not happen again.
The crews are not allowed to dwell on errors. It's straight back up the ramp, this time successfully. Well, nearly.
Hi, my name is Lieutenant Mark Sheldon. I'm this season's Portsmouth Field Gun Officer for what is potentially the last season at Earls Court. I'm looking forward to the season very much. It's a job that I asked for a few years ago, and I was very fortunate to get it in this final year. I'm very proud to be Portsmouth Field Gun Officer this season. I know the first and second trainer very well. We've known each other through rugby, our rugby environment, and it's a privilege to be part of the team this season. My actual role within the team is to help the first trainer from September with his quest on recruiting the right calibre of men to run field gun, and also to help with sponsorship and raising the finances to run some of the activities and some of the services we require to maintain a professional crew at Earls Court. We all feel that we've done well, and we've got the right people back, and we've got the right support behind us to make this season our most successful season yet.
Steve Clark, nice guy, Click PTI. The moment I'm in B group doing slats. I'm going to go at 7 and I'm going to go at 6 today. And then this afternoon I'm jumping into C group, so I've got swinging. Moving on.
Hi for Earls, Killick OM. At the moment I'm doing Flying Angel, loving it.
Civil James from Pembroke, West Wales. B group at the moment, number 7. Working hard at it.
Buster Brown, good looking one of the relationship of the crew here. People are extremely jealous of my good looks.
Craig Marsden.
Yeah.
And I'm running currently running 13, which is trail number for B crew. It's going all right.
Out here we have 2 main bits of field gun equipment which are used in the competition. They are taken over walls, over a chasm and through walls and assembled at both action lines where 3 rounds are fired. Here we have the field gun with a combined weight of over 1,250 pounds. It is split into 2 separate parts. The barrel, which weighs no less than 900 pounds, and the carriage, which weighs no less than 350 pounds. This is the barrel, weighs no less than 900 pounds and is held in the carriage by the trunnion caps. The trunnion cap can easily be opened by the use of this pin. At each action line, 3 rounds are fired by use of this breech. The carriage is supported by 2 wheels, each weighing 120 pounds. The combined total, all the gear together, weighs 1,500 pounds.
This is the limber box. It's the most cumbersome of the equipment that we have on the track. The frame and the boxes weigh 362 pounds. These are supported by the 2 wheels which weigh 120 pounds, which gives it a combined weight of 602 pounds. The drag ropes are carried in the limber throughout the run and used to pull the gun and limber home at the end of the run for the run home.
The field gun track consists of the home wall, home ramp, chasm, presumed bottomless, the enemy ramp and the enemy wall. These obstacles are negotiated by the crew at high speed using intricate manoeuvres and strength. They use over 2,500 precise hand and foot moves to get the equipment out from the home side to the enemy and back again in an average time of 2 minutes 46 seconds, as explained in detail by the crew OA Pricky Price.
From the start, the gun and limber are pulled towards the home wall. The first flight detach and navigate the home wall ahead of the gun and limber. 5 men manhandle the limber over the home wall. Alongside them, 7 men repeat this manoeuvre with the gun. The rig for crossing the chasm now needs to be erected. The heavy shear legs and 28-foot spar are now placed in position by 7 men. With the rig now in position, the first and second swing now clear the chasm, the second swing carrying the main wire. The 10-foot spar is sent across the chasm. The 28-foot spar is now detached and the shear legs move back into their fixed position. The first wheels across are from the limber. The gun is now brought between the shear legs, the barrel removed and placed on top of the home ramp. Wheels come off the carriage and the carriage now negotiates the chasm. The barrel is now hooked on and transported across the chasm to the enemy ramp. Speedy wheels clear the chasm and race through the hole in the enemy wall. The gun and carriage are now reassembled and head towards the enemy wall. The limber now clears the chasm. With the wheels removed, the gun is taken through the hole in the enemy wall. The gun is now reassembled and moved to the first action line, ready to fire. Limber comes through the enemy wall, wheels on and taken to the first action line. All men and equipment are now at the enemy action line. 3 rounds are fired and the run out is complete. All men and equipment now negotiate the enemy wall, first and second swing leading. With the limber clear of the enemy wall, wheels are removed and raced to the home side. Whilst the gun is negotiating the enemy wall, the limber is brought to the top of the enemy ramp. The gun is raced to the top of the enemy ramp while the limber clears the chasm. The gun and carriage are detached. The gun now clears the chasm. The carriage is now transported across the chasm where it is reunited with the gun. Last wheels now clear the chasm. The Flying Angel now detaches the wire and brings himself and the 10-foot spar across the chasm. With the gun and limber at the second action, the rig collapses and 3 rounds are fired. The run back is now complete. All men and equipment go through the hole in the home wall, the gun and limber are reassembled and race for home.
St Barbara's Church is Whale Island's own church and stands on the southeastern edge of the island. All members of the crew march up to church to uphold the tradition of the rededication service, which is held at the beginning of each season. Back to work on the track, and A crew are starting to string together consistent runners.
Time you've done it, you'll wait, do it a dozen times till you feel the comfortable way you want to do it. but that is important. We're still turning it back up too late.
A and B crews work hard to perfect the individual manoeuvres that make up the complete run. Although B crew will not run in public at Earls Court, they do continue to strive for perfection. The 3 Command B crews all compete for the Copenhagen Cup during practice periods each day at Earls Court.
Right, it came away from the ramp, then slowed down, and I didn't know whether it was going to just hook it. Lift! Courage! Yeah, drive it up, drive it up. Right, step off carriage. All you're looking for is number 8. Yeah? Fire!
Stand, shells.
By mid-May, both number 1 and number 2 have made up their minds about the exact makeup of each crew. Although crew members are chosen for specific roles, they could be changed, dropped or promoted between A and B crews at any time. Injury is usually the reason for major change, so at this stage, people strive for consistent and injury-free performance. The men assemble for the formal announcement by their trainers as to who has made it into A and B crew.
Right guys, I'll start on me Saturday morning. First swing, Fred Perry.
1.
Second swing, Ronnie Scott.
1.
Number 3, Cus Curran. 1. Number 4, Nigel Allen. Number 5, Palmer Mills.
1.
Number 6, Beveland.
1.
Number 7, Jack Russell. Number 8, Buster Brown.
1. I've come to a decision now for those that will be starting with me on Saturday.
Once chosen, the crew members will have to work hard to keep their place. There'll always be someone waiting in the wings. A crew is now officially named, and number 1 quietly stresses the responsibility that goes with that accolade and starts to cement the relationship between trainer and crew.
Okay, here we are then. It's Friday the 14th of May 1999. The crews have just been named, as you've seen, and there's a lot of disappointment, but there's also a lot of happy guys. In fact, 3 weeks on the track. All the lads have been given an opportunity to show how good they are, and it's been very, very difficult for the first and second trainer to select his A and B crew, but the crews have been named. We've still got 4 or 5 people to join, and I'm sure that there will be opportunities for those that haven't been selected to do their best out on the track here. Everything's on course. The lads are looking very professional. They've had good physical training. They're getting fed well. They're getting looked after by the sponsors. And we're on course to succeed for 1999.
So, chosen.
Yep.
What number are you running?
18, B crew.
What does that do?
Heavy end, barrel ride out, barrel ride back.
Pleased?
Yeah, very pleased, yeah.
First time?
First time into field gun, first time training. So...
Is it as tough as you thought?
Oh yeah, probably more, I've been waiting for this day for ages and it's finally come. And, mixed emotions, just happy to get in and give it 100% now, As long as I'm there at Earls Court, I'll be there.
Chris Betts.
What are you doing?
Flying Angel. A crew.
this morning's...
Yeah, it was good for me, especially with Dougie coming back in this year as well. You know, Dougie's ran 3 years of A crew, so have I. But yeah, I'm happy. But it's nice to have somebody like Dougie to back us up. It's good. Ecstatic, especially with it being the last one. It's good.
The crew's obviously very difficult for the first and second trainer to name his crews. Very hard for the people that have haven't been given a place. Very difficult.
Happy with your own setup?
Yeah, I think we've got
I think it'll be alright. I don't think there's any drama there. I think everyone's confident.
Apart from Kerry Packer. Just have to keep on about Kerry Packer.
They're fine. I think everyone's focused in on what we've got to achieve. And we complement one another to a great degree, so I think that will be of benefit to everyone.
Remy.
And happy about this morning's decision?
Yeah, very happy. No real great surprises. I think everybody's expecting most of it. You sort of learn that the A, B and C groups sort of tend to stay together anyway, and unless there's any major sort of hiccups, then you stay in the same route anyway.
What are you doing?
Slipping at the end on the way back and lazy at the end on the way out.
Done it before?
Yeah, well, on the way back I've done the same number before, but not on the way out. But we've got 2 17s this year. Danny from 97, who obviously they all won the silverware, and then I ran last year and previous years, and basically what that's done is sort of swapped us around a little bit, so basically to get the best out of the pair of us, I think, because his slip's good on the way out and apparently mine's all right on the way back, so
Are you happy?
yeah, chuffed a bit.
The crews go through a final practice prior to the first public run of the season.
Come on then, it's all there for you. It's all about confidence in your own ability and your partner. You've got fucking bags of it. Go and take it now on this run out. Quality field gun starts with a run out. Believe it and it'll fucking happen. Now go and make it fucking happen. Happy? Yes!
Number 1 instills naked aggression into his crew. He needs them to release that aggression in a controlled and disciplined manner that will transform their energy into a flowing set of manoeuvres that carry the gun and limber over the obstacles at a speed that belies the total weight of almost a ton. On completion of the run, he doesn't look that impressed. Jim Davidson, the VIP at tonight's public run, looks in on the track preparations.
Here in the grounds of Portsmouth, Naval Division produces the ideal specimen, the field gun. Both the bulging biceps, great fires, I'm an expert at this of course, and characteristically out of breath, dirty face, no money in the pockets, extremely small cock. This is the field gunner at his best. I'm going off to eat his scoff now.
Well, here we are, 5th week of the season, first public run, and to date things are going very, very well. As in normal, any competition sport, we have a few early season injuries. We've got over them now, and I've probably got my best 1 to 18 running. If I went back to the fleet, I don't even think I'd be able to strengthen what I've got now, so we're in a good, healthy state. The guys are up for it. They'll probably go under 50 tonight if they run clean, which again will be their fastest time of the season.
A crew spend some time on their own in the training shed prior to the public run, quietly preparing themselves for the job in hand, whilst B crew entertain the crowds with a slow time demonstration of all the parts that make up a complete run.
Extremely awkward to carry on the shoulder.
This demonstration gives the public a chance to get to know some of the intricate manoeuvres that go on during the fast and furious action that is soon to come.
Tonight, yeah, it's just another run, isn't it? Well, that's how you've got to look at it, it's just another run. With a bit of a crowd. Yeah. Done it all before.
This is the bit where it starts to get enjoyable, when you get to strut your stuff in front of the public and show just how good you are.
The initial run out looks good. A crew could be in for a fast time. Even though there have been a couple of hitches, the crew run back quite quickly. A crew achieved their fastest time of the season with a 2:43.9 and are justifiably delighted.
First one, not bad at all. 43.9 with snags around the rig, so there's still plenty more to come. Hopefully we'll put another one in to follow that up. Yeah, going very nicely.
It's on the fastest run of the season. How did it go for you?
Brilliant. I think I'm getting used to the two-man field gun it's a fast run and everything seems slower, but I think that's only because it's clean drill. But that was great. I haven't stopped grinning like a Cheshire cat ever since we completed it. So it's a good feeling. It's the best time I've ever done, and some of these lads they're doing their best time. That tells the story to some experienced field gunners here. So I think we're on the right track now, and if the next run is about the same time or faster, then that'll make our day. And so far, the season best.
Hello, mate.
Best run of the season.
Yeah,
How do you
it was.
feel?
Yeah, it was good. It's nice to put it in.
Yeah.
Even though there was still shit in it. You know, we had a late lift up, double hook on the limber. Right. It's all there. You know, there's no reason why we can't go any faster and do it all.
The very next run, Chris, the flying angel, misjudges his launch onto the wire by a fraction of a second. Sometimes, field gun can be a cruel game.
My name's Sheila Stakem. I'm from Portsmouth Chiropractic Centre. The Portsmouth field gun crew call on me when they injure themselves, as chiropractic is a very fast, effective way of treating joint, muscle and bone injuries. We can get them back on the track faster than any other type of treatment.
Track maintenance and preparation of the equipment is routine and part of everyone's life, even Clubs's. The sun shines and the crews train hard, trying to perfect each aspect of the run with continuous fine-tuning. Analysis is important and happens after each run.
Might be the guy going in for his wheel.
We've had that before. Well, I don't know if Remy might do it. As you go in to get the wheel from the other side of the ramp, what happens? I did it. I used to clear the overhauling out of my way. Well, it might hit you or someone else.
I'll wait till they're going back before I go for the wheel.
The other way initially, halfway across is the other way. But I know it's going to come to me. Yeah. By the time it gets to me, it goes right up and around and out this way.
Which, you know, he must maintain the...
Trainers from past years come down to the track regularly to help out and offer advice.
So it's bedded well beyond the 10th.
11's got to break it out.
Absolutely.
Be late for courage.
Well, watching what he's just done there, I don't, you know, he comes off...
He didn't get a true reflection.
No, but I would like to see it in a proper run where he comes in, as you say, takes it off the gun and he's moving. He goes past, is that coming round, they've got momentum on, they're going past the limber, he's taking it off just before the limber.
Well, my name's Boris Slingsby. I first started field gunning in '67, where it was quite unusual to go as a young lad straight into A crew. I've run A crew as well as '67 and '71, and I was captain of the crew in '75 when we won it all. I then became second trainer in '80. We're here, myself and Alex, we come down most seasons, impart our knowledge and experience should the trainers want to take it on board. Because after all, it's been part of our life now for 20 odd years. 67 to 99, which supposedly is the last year, is a lot of involvement, a lot of time, a lot of passion, a lot of heartache and a lot of joy. So that's in a nutshell why I'm still hanging around as a has-been today.
And this is Alex, is it? Yeah, good afternoon. My name's Alex Clark. First ran in 1971 with Boris as the Angel. Learned a great deal in that year. Probably my best season field gunning running-wise. We both ran again in 75. And as Boris says, it's in the blood. We've been coming down here ever since now, offering advice and guidance to the trainers of the day. Some take it, some accept it, some
occasionally rebel, but that's up to them. Hopefully what we say 99% of the time is hopefully we're right. But we thoroughly enjoy ourselves and get involved and try and help them at the moment, and it's good fun. We both enjoy it. Thank you.
My name's Tony Nash, I'm exceedingly cool.
What are you doing on this crew? Hoping to run 20-foot slip. A crew, hopefully.
What does that entail?
Running with a wire, which is over there in the corner. And then the 28 foot, putting it in the rig, slipping it, out with a limber, and come back with a limber, hopefully.
Have you run before?
Yeah, A crew 95, first time. And not run since, not had a chance to get off since.
Tiny is also the white rat.
Right, what will happen is in about 10 minutes' time, all the crew will come in, staff will come in. I will then come in as a white rat. Over the past couple of weeks, all the boys who've been naughty, been stitched up, said things that they shouldn't have said, or didn't think they could get away with, basically. And I have said, been reported back to me in my little book. It will then get read out as a charge. Individually, they get called up, they stand at the table, and the charge will get read out. They get a chance to defend themselves, and the rest of the crew, being the jury, will decide guilty or not guilty. And then they will pick the punishment as they say. And that's what happens. And we've got about 25 charges this week. And there are...
Suddenly, the white rat finds himself in the dock. He's found guilty and made to eat 3 pickled eggs with crackers as punishment. To top it off, he has to row 1,500 metres.
My name's Jim O'Connell, 17 years in the Navy. Ran in the field guns crew 54, 57 and second trainer in 1960. Left the service in 62. And every so often we come down to Whale Island, which is our second home, for the field gun reunions.
Yeah, I'm Kevin Dale. I ran in 1977 and 1980. It was hard going. First time I enjoyed it, the second time was just hard work, because you know what's coming. Very enjoyable. It's one of the few things that the Navy's got that keeps everyone together. The services are going to miss it badly when they finish it off.
Donald Shaw. 79, 86, staff 95, 96. The demise of field gun is, you might as well disband the Navy.
Hi, my name's Sticks, known to all the lads at Portsmouth Field Gun. Been around since 1975. Missed 9 runs at Earls complete, A and B crew. Wishing all the lads all the very best for this year. Please God they bring all the silver home for them as much as myself. It's been a quality track season for me. I just hope that they really do really well. It's a great shame that it's coming to an end. I just hope everybody supports Pompey. Ring-a-ding-ding, here we go all the way home for the silvers. Thanks very much.
When the parson got up in the pulpit, he said, "Who gives this woman away?" When a bloke off the hood whispered, "Blimey, I could, but let every dog have its day." Mary, Mary, I'm married my Jenny Renbright. Mary, Mary.
Darby Allen, I'm Bob Endo. He's Bob Endo. And I like brother and sister, really, you know. I even slept with them last night.
What years did you run, Darby?
69, 82. On his staff, 83, 84, 87, 88.
Well, I ran in 74, 79, 82, 85. I also ran half the season in 78. Portsmouth's got a good first trainer this year, a lot of experience. I've run with Pat before, been in the same crew with him. He's been staff when I've run. I know him pretty well.
So you're hopeful for this year then?
Yeah, very hopeful.
Yeah.
We're hopeful every year, but I think we always live in hope. But I think this year, with Pat in charge, they're going to do well.
Lads are, you know.
Reunion Day attracts many ex-field gunners who turn up at Whale Island for a get-together and a look at how Pompey are progressing. The crews are on their toes in front of the critical and experienced eyes of the old hands. The reunion goes very much like normal track training, and altogether there are 5 complete runs. No major problems or injuries are experienced by the crew, and the event is deemed a success. All the exes and the crew get together at the end of the day for a photograph. Then it's off to the bar. Paul Smith ran first swing for Portsmouth in 1991 and was disabled in a car accident soon after. Before the crew totally relax after the reunion day runs, they get together to present Paul with a birthday cake.
Jane Smith, married to Paul Smith, Smudge, first swing B crew, 91. Just feel it's a real shame that they're finishing with field gun. And it's just a shame because I'd like to bring Paul down because I think it'd help in his rehabilitation after his car accident. Maybe it'll help him remember what he used to do, get him out of his shell. The lads have been pretty good with Paul while I've been bringing him down during the training. And it's, as I say, it's just a shame it's finishing. And I think the people that are in the know should have a rethink and maybe keep it.
I Brian Powell. I've run here 3 times, 3 crews at Portsmouth, 1979, 83, 86. And it's a sad day today, in as much that the Navy brought us all together, but at the end of the day, all my friends really associated from the Navy days have all been involved with field gun. And without any shadow of a doubt, it's, presented me with, everything I got in life really, from my confidence and what I do in my business and, my rugby with the director of rugby at Bridgend Rugby Club, And without field gun, I don't think any of this would be possible. It's such a big, important part of my life when you look back and you look here today at the people and the calibre of people here. You know, it's a great shame that it's finishing, and the powers to be really should have a, you know, the conscience should be very guilty at what's happening, you know.
It's the last day on the track, and even as the crew is completing the final run, equipment is being loaded for the journey up to Earls Court.
Okay, here we are then. It's the last day ever down the track. We've just completed 2 runs this morning. It's Friday the 16th of July. It is a sad occasion, very sombre that the track's now being cleared for the last time. But it's been a great day. What a great day to finish. Great time to finish on. See you at Earls Court.
Ready? Burn-in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Stand by.
Di Whitehead and Kerry Packer take Aaron, who is the son of ex-field gunner Bungie Williams, around the track for the last time.
Run, run, run. Up the ramp, I don't know what I'm doing this for.
Aaron is a field gun fanatic and has his own gun and limber, which he takes everywhere with him.
Go through the hole. We all got to go through, quick. Wheel. Wide line, go on. Go on.
Aaron is visibly affected by this, his last run.
It's my bit. It's like having ashes of someone you love, isn't it?
Saturday the 17th of July sees the crew have their final photograph, load themselves and their kit onto the coach for the trip up to Earls Court. The Royal Tournament is the showpiece arena for the field gun competition. Earls Court becomes a vast military tattoo undercover, and thousands of people come to see it each day. The crews perform in the huge building and live at the rear of the arena in makeshift accommodation. Many ex-field gunners make the pilgrimage to London every year to see the action.
Who am I? Pete Rowledge. 1965. The demise of field guns is absolutely disgusting.
Dickie Charman, C-H-A-R-M-A-N, 60 and 65. It's the event everybody recognises in the country. You've only got to mention the Royal Tournament and they know all about the field gun. All you've got to mention is the Royal Tournament, and it's a terrible, terrible, tragic blow. That's my opinion.
Derek Harris, otherwise known as Chats. I ran for Devonport in 1957. Didn't make the first team, I was injured. And I ran for Portsmouth 1960 and was also ran. Came second. I'm just glad I'm here today, the very last one. I just made a point of being here because they're tearing the heart out of the British soul, I think.
My name's Shiner Wright. I run with the crew in 55 and 58. As regards the field gun packing up, I think it's a disgrace.
My name's Smiler Huntley, and I ran in 66 with a few of these around here. I was there in 71, 72 with the crew, and I think it's really very, very sad that they're going to do away with field gun.
The Navy rescued me from DQs back in 67, 68, which was my introduction to field gun. So I ran in 68, ended up running the Earls Court, 71 and 74. and I was selected out and did second trainer in 78, first trainer 79, second trainer 82, and first trainer again in 83. And on we've gone since then. I left the Navy in 83, but back in 78 we actually formed the Field Gun Association, which is just as well, because now that it's all finished, and it is finished in a week's time, we at least now have a future. We've accepted field gun is over. It's a crying shame, but off we go into the future, which is now the Portsmouth Field Gun Association.
It's an early start each day.
Come by, 2-6. Stand by, 2-6.
At 6:30, the practice session begins. Injuries can easily be picked up and need attention from the physio.
Right, I'm Joyce. I cover as the physio for Portsmouth Field Gun Crew. I've been with them 5 seasons. Mainly injuries are sprains and strains. This year we've had a few sort of breaks as well. Usually the treatment for strains is ice and a little bit of rest, which they're not able to get a lot of. Basically that's my job, to keep them running and get back on the track as quickly as possible.
After practice, the crews spend the remainder of the morning relaxing, depending on the programme. They can sometimes run twice a day, so fitness remains paramount. Clubs still take circuit training on a regular basis.
Going on the abdoms! In and out, up and down. Backs flat, keep them going. More work on the legs, halfway through. Keep it going on the arms, up and down. That's good. More works. Last exercise, last 20. Here we go, last 26. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Pompey find it difficult to settle during the first week, and as a result, they pick up serious penalties when things start to go wrong. B Crew are in good heart and running well. They are putting in consistent performances during the week and could be on course for a trophy in their own competition, the Copenhagen Cup. Then, during early practice, at the start of week 2, disaster. Neil Jones is badly hurt in a horrific accident when the gun carriage shoots into the chasm after the wire detaches from its retaining pin. Neil is taken straight to the medical centre and Joyce the physio returns with reassuring news.
He's got all movement. Everything's good. It's just precautionary measure now.
Right, Neil's been looked over in the medical centre. Obviously, when he first fell off the carriage, there's a great deal of concern that he might have damaged either the top of his neck or his back. But they've given him a thorough look over in the medical centre, and it appears that he has not damaged his neck or his back, but he has had a very severe blow on the head. He's suffering from concussion at the moment. They're going to keep him in under observation for the next 24 hours to see whether there's any adverse reaction from the tumble.